Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Fanie Naude here, and welcome to another one of my long form videos. So today we're going to talk about strategy specifically for accountants. So we're going to bring in some awesome accounting examples as well. The main things that we're going to cover today is Michael Porter's 5 forces, growth strategies, blue ocean strategies, and basically our business pipeline that we usually talk about. So stay tuned for this video. You really want to see this one. So hey guys, so let's basically start with Michael Porter's 5 forces. So what this basically comes down to is you need to analyze your market. At the moment you're in business, you're thinking about, okay, what should my next few moves be? What strategy should I be following? Should I be going aggressive for marketing? Should I rather improve my products or my services? Should I hire a massive sales team to go out and do some in-person sales, or basically outsource to a call center, and all of those sort of things, a bunch of business decisions that you really want to be thinking about. But the way you think about this is you need to first of all analyze your market. You need to analyze your competitors. Now, Michael Porter is one of the leading minds with business strategies. So he was, I think he's still at Harvard, one of the most best people, and he wrote a book about competition, and where he basically explains the 5 forces. So most people already studied this. Most business schools teach you this a little bit more, but I just quickly want to cover this because this is not happening in the marketplace at the moment. At the moment, nobody is analyzing what all of the competitors are doing, so you need to start thinking a little bit more strategically. First of all is competition. You need to analyze your competition. Now, at this moment in the accounting industry, it feels like everybody is doing the exact same thing at the moment. So you go, you see yourself as a client, put yourself in the client's shoes, you want to go and you want to get an accountant for your small business. So now you're thinking, okay, great, I'm not going to go the normal route and just ask everybody who I should be choosing. I want to do my own research. I want to go see who's actually the best one for my business. You start doing some research and you see, oh man, you get sites like fineanaccountant.co.za, and suddenly you see 200, 300, 400 accountants saying the exact same thing, saying we do CIPC submissions, we do tax returns, we do VAT, we do financial statements, we do monthly accounting services, or we do general accounting. And every single one of them says the exact same thing. So now you're thinking about, okay, but who should I be choosing in this scenario? Who should I choose when 300 people say the exact same thing to me? Well, the answer is very clear. You cannot. You cannot choose then, because you don't know exactly what's going on and you don't know who's better than the other one. So you go and you phone your friends and you say, hey, do you know an accountant that I can trust? Do you know an accountant I can do? You phone your family and you say, okay, sorry, but I thought I was going to do this on my own, but I'm really not going to be doing this. And that's why referrals and word of mouth in the accounting industry is 90% plus. We speak with a bunch of accountants every single day, weekly. We always, how are you currently getting clients? No referrals. What's the percentage? 90%, 95%. We're only working on referrals. So we've never done marketing before. Like, we haven't even tried social media because we only get clients in through referrals. Now, you get a bunch of problems with just referrals. You cannot pick and choose who you're going to work with. You cannot target a specific group of people because you love working with them. You're just so happy when the phone rings and it's someone that was referred. Or it's so happy then someone tells you, oh, that person needs an accountant. I told you a little bit more about him. And you can't choose, and you can't see or influence the amount that your business is going to grow at the end of the day, because it's not because of you. Yes, you're providing quality services for your current clients, but at the end of the day, do you really have the foot on the accelerator to say, okay, next month I want to grow by 60%. No. Next month you're going to grow according to how your clients feel about you. Now, that's not something that you really have a massive amount of control with. So that's the first thing, is you need to analyze your competition. Now, the other 4 forces are a little bit different. So the first one, barriers to entry. Now, this is thinking more in line with this, what do you need to enter the market? Like, if you want to start a new accounting practice, What do you need to start a new accounting practice? Well, first thing is you need to qualify. You need to go and study and get an actual degree. You need to register with all of your governing bodies like SIPA, SICA, SIBA, all of those sort of things. And then, well, it takes money as well. It takes a lot of capital to start a new business. You probably want an office here, or at least want some employees. And suddenly you're thinking, okay, well, this barrier to entry is actually quite high. But what Michael Porter is trying to analyze is this a threat? Is it a threat for someone to come into your market? Well, if you're a small accounting practice, this is not really relevant to you because there's already thousands and thousands of competitors in your market. There's already so much, and are you really competing well enough to outcompete them? Are you one of the big four? No, most probably not. So this is more in line with, okay, if I'm one of the big four, I'm KPMG at the moment, and I'm thinking, oh man, what's the barrier to entry to become one of the leading four? Well, now BDO is most probably going to take over KPMG's place. Well, that's a barrier to entry, and that's very, very high. But KPMG basically dropped the ball, so that's most probably going to happen. So that's what you're thinking about. Is it a threat for new competitors to come in? If you're in a small town and there's only one accountant in that entire town, well, now you're thinking about barriers to entry, because what if there's another accountant coming into my town? How difficult is it going to be? Does he need certain permits? Can he just come and take over half of the business of the town that you're currently getting? Things that you should be thinking about in a strategic manner. Next one, substitutes. Same sort of idea, except this is where there's a substitute product. So at the moment, there's this big controversy about Coke. Now, what's a substitute product to Coke? Well, Kingsley or other soft drinks or anything else that you drink and satisfies you, anything else with sugar in, basically. There's so many substitutes, but it's not really such a big threat for Coke because they're such a big company, and that Coke, the actual soft drink or the actual a drink, is not the only product. They have thousands of other products as well, basically dominating that entire market at the moment. So the substitute is not that big of a threat. Now, if you're thinking about the accounting industry, well, all of the new softwares that's coming out, all of the cloud softwares, yes, they're aiming at accountants that you can use that for your clients, but some of them, like QuickBooks, well, the business owner can use that for himself. Meaning he does not really need you or a bookkeeper anymore because he has QuickBooks. It's a substitute product. So how big of a threat is the substitutes going to be in your industry? Well, according to me, or according to what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing in the market at the moment, software is going to take over. 5 to 10 years, accountants are going to be extremely redundant. They're going to be used for the checkup work. They're going to be used for consulting or advisory services primarily. That's where the most of the value lie in your knowledge, in your financial knowledge. That's going to be the main key thing for me, because if I'm a small business, I need some advice. I need to know, how am I going to make decisions in my business? Should I be consulting this? Should I be buying this new bakkie? Should I be buying that new office? Should I expand my current office? Should I be hiring more employees, or should I be letting go of some employees or retrenching some of them? All of that seems to be financial decisions at the end of the day, and you need to be there as an advisor. You want to be there in that boardroom when they're making those decisions. You need to be irreplaceable in the sense of your value that you bring to the table. Well, if you're just going to do the general accounting or the general bookkeeping and only doing returns, software is going to take over that market, or someone is going to dominate the market with a software system and just say, okay, 95% or 90% of everything that I do is automated. That means that I can have thousands of clients. I can service every single one of them. So suddenly they just take over the entire market because they use the software as a substitute for all the other accountants. So the thing that you should be thinking about is, what is the main threat of substitutes in your market? Now you're getting to buyers and suppliers. Well, first let's talk about suppliers. Well, this is about the bargaining power of suppliers. So this is, okay, you're using certain softwares, using Xero, using Sage or QuickBooks or DraftWorks, Caseware, everything. They could be seen as a supplier in the accounting industry because you're using them. you're using them and they're telling you, okay, great, to use our software package, you're going to be paying this amount of money per month. Now you're saying, what? I don't really want to pay, let's say 5,000 Rand a month for the software. It is a little bit of expensive for a new accounting practice, so I don't really want to pay that. Can I negotiate with that supplier? Well, if you're not a massive big company with hundreds and hundreds of clients, you don't have a lot of power in that negotiation, because what happens if they just say no? If they just say no and you say, oh, I'm going to other software, and the other software also says no for the negotiation, you don't have a lot of options. There's not a lot of options that give you the power to just move. But if you have 400 clients or 4,000 clients and you say, no, I've been using your software and I'm bringing 4,000 clients to the table, you need to be listening to me. You need to realize that if I leave, it's going to be a massive chunk of your business that's going to be leaving. So I don't want to be paying these expensive amounts per client at the moment. It's just not worth it. I'm considering leaving you. Okay, well, then suddenly they're like, okay, this is a big client. We're probably going to need to keep him happy. Let's negotiate with him, bring down the price a little bit. Well, that's bargaining power with suppliers. Do you have the power to bargain with them, or is they just dominating the market that you really cannot make decisions according to that? Next one, buyers. Now this is your clients. Well, I already touched a little bit like this in the beginning, where I said, okay, who's the client going to choose if everybody sounds exactly the same? So this is the main thing that our business tries to correct with accountants, is because we love marketing. We love to think about how the client is thinking about it. So there's a bunch of things that you can do to differentiate yourself in this accounting market. The first thing that we teach is pick a niche. Pick a specific group of people or industry with similar problems that you can solve and that you can become a specialist in. So let's say, for example, that there's two accountants, one down the road and me. Okay, I am specializing specifically in physiotherapists. I know their business and practice inside and out. I already know what systems needs to be in place, and I understand their problems and pains the best in the industry because I am the specialist, and I tell that to a physiotherapist. And the other accountant comes to the physiotherapist and he says, okay, I do general accounting, I do CIPC submissions, I do VAT returns, I do all of these sort of things. And then finally, who's that client going to choose? Is he going to choose the specialist that knows exactly what's going on, or the generalist that sounds exactly the same as 300 to 400 other accountants just by Googling? Well, they're most probably going to choose the specialist, just for obvious reasons. They're going to provide the most value. They already understand what they're going through. Those pains of getting to know each other is not going to be there because everything is already there. You are the specialist. You provide so much more value. Now, this is just one of the ways where we say, great, what is the bargaining power with the buyers or with the clients? If you're the specialist, you can name your price, because there isn't going to be another specialist in like 100 miles of radius, because accountants are not specializing at the moment. So if you're the only specialist for physiotherapists in the entire Pretoria, well, you can pick and choose which physiotherapy practice you're going to take on, because if they're going to say, oh no, I can't afford this, sorry, but I'm the specialist. And what I do is provide a massive amount of value. And you can see that from all of my happy clients and all of the results that I've already gotten for them. And they are or were in the specific situation that you are right now. I know exactly the next steps you need to be taking. So no, I'm not going to reduce my price just because you're wanting to save a buck or two. At the end of the day, that's just not going to happen. I'm the specialist. You don't go to a doctor's office for orthopedic surgeon and tell him, oh no, sorry, this surgery is costing me too much. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to. And then what's that specialist going to tell you? You are more than welcome to go through that door and leave. Go to someone else, because this is my time, that I know my value. I have the confidence in my ability to fix your knee, and I've studied for so long, and everything, all the years of experience built up to this place means that I'm not going to drop my price. because I know what I'm doing. That is the true value of what I'm offering. So I'm not going to give you a discount. And you're more than welcome to leave. Well, that's power. If you have that power to negotiate with your buyers, and you have that confidence to give them the true price and charge your true value, you're going to be sitting pretty with great clients, loyal clients that's going to pay their bills, give all of their deliverables in time, just because they have respect for you as the expert or specialist in your certain field or in their certain field. This is very, very important. So this was Michael Porter's 5 forces, basically how to analyze your market. Analyze every single one of them and decide, okay, great, where does my power lie? Which are my next moves going to be? Is there something that I can do to increase my competitiveness in the market? Now, if your market is too difficult to compete in, there's a nice book called Blue Ocean Strategy. Now, this is an awesome book that I read recently. It gives you a way to escape the market that's too competitive, because what a blue ocean is there's really nobody to compete against. And the red ocean is something like this. So it's red, and every single shark in there just starts eating all of the fish, or eating each other and cannibalizing each other, and it just looks like a big bloody mess at the end of the day. And you don't want to be there. You want to be in the blue ocean where there's nobody. You can just pick and choose your clients. You can pick and choose what you're going to do. And what this book is going to teach you is a few methods of how to achieve this. So the first one is, okay, there's a raise, eliminate, reduce, and create. So the first one is, let's say, raise. So raise, you want to increase certain things that you're doing. So if you're looking at the accounting industry at the moment, you're thinking, okay, everybody offers the 20 services, and they're not really, there's some of them offering advisory and some of them offering some sort of consulting, but it's to a very limited state. So it's not you are the key member in the boardroom when decisions are made, or at least you're part of the top 3 when decisions are made. It's not that. At the moment, it's like, okay, I want to buy a new bakkie. Maybe I should call my accountant and find out how this is going to work or impact the things I want to do. Raise the amount of consulting advisory in your practice, because like I said, you're going to get redundant because of the software. So if the true value of your business and yourself is your knowledge and your ability to think strategically and make decisions and advise other people on the same thing, raise that. Raise the amount. So just raise something to such an extent that you're creating yourself and putting yourself in a different market. Because if I'm looking for someone to just do my VAT returns or give me ad hoc services like financial statements, yeah, I can go to anybody and basically price shop. Okay, this one's charging 1,000, that one's charging 2,000. Well, maybe I should charge the 1,000 one, because what's the difference going to be in the financial statements? Now, me as a small business owner don't know the difference. So they're going to price shop. But if I want advice, I want true advice on how to grow my business, how to stabilize my financials, how to never run into cash flow problems ever again, I'm going to choose the specialist or the expert in that specific advisory or consulting field, just because they're doing that and that's the main thing that they do, meaning they already know what they're going on. They have a proven process that I want to get a hold of because they know what they're doing. So that's the first one, raise. Then eliminate. So let's say, for example, you're thinking, okay, I want to start an accounting practice and I want to offer 20 services like every single other accountant out there. Well, how about you eliminate some of those services? Because if you are offering 20 services and you're a 5-man company, it does not show that you have a wide array of knowledge and specialties and skills. What that shows is you have a very wide attention and you are not focusing on specific things. I'm never going to believe an accountant that says he's an expert in something if he's trying to do 20 different things at the same time. It's just not possible to become an expert in something if you are not focusing your attention on a small amount of things. It's just not possible. You don't hear of doctors that are specialists of orthopedics and throat and ear and nose and, blood and cancer and everything. No. They specialize in one certain thing. You get eye specialists, you get knee specialists, or you get orthopedic surgeons, you get, cancer specialists because they're focusing down on the one thing that truly matters, is that specific thing. So they become a specialist by focusing. So you're not showing that you're better than the other competition if you have more services than them. So eliminate some of the services. If you don't like payroll, eliminate payroll. I was thinking, but what if that client wants to keep all of his services in one place? Get yourself a nice outsourced payroll business that focuses only on payroll. They are the payroll specialists. Outsource it to them. Everything still runs through you. You offer the service as an outsource to them. They are experts in what they do because payroll is the only thing that they do. They're very effective and efficient. Great. You don't need to be wasting your time on that. So eliminate some of those. That's the next thing. Then reduce. So what we're seeing at the moment in the accounting industry is a very long drawn out sales process. So if I contact you today and I say, great, I want you as my accountant, how is this going to work? Okay, let's first climb on a call, discovery meeting. Okay, after that meeting, you're most probably going to draft me a proposal. I need to go through the proposals. I'm a busy man, so it's going to take me a few days. See, there's a few things I really don't like. Going to send that back to you. No, I don't want these. Okay, great. We're going to renegotiate on the proposal. Going to send a new one through. Okay, great. Now I need to sign some documents, power of attorney, and all of those sort of things. And it's just taking forever. It's taking forever. It's taking 2, 3, 4 weeks to sign up a new client as an accountant. And why is this? Is this because of regulatory standards, or is this because you have a false sense of idea of the process that you need to go through? So yes, I understand there's certain things required by law that needs to be signed and everything, but it does not mean that you need to be taking 2 weeks to do this. You can give them and sell them in that first meeting. Not necessarily as a pushy salesman telling them they need to buy now. Give them a reason why they want to buy now. If you're solving some of their most painful problems and pains, they want a solution right now. Give them that solution. Take them through that psychological process to think, I want this. I really want to buy this right now because I'm so fed up with all of these problems and pains that I have at the moment, and I want to reach my desired situation as fast as humanly possible. So I want the solution now. Don't then, when that person says, I want to buy, tell them, okay, well, I'm going to take a few days. We need to work out the price and send you a proposal. No, work out the preliminary price on that meeting and give him the forms to sign or anything in the first meeting. Sell him the first meeting. If he wants to buy, let him buy. You can figure out the paperwork as you go along, but you need to give them that solution as fast as possible because you're wasting so much time if you're not reducing that sales process down to at least a day, one phone call. No, we do sales training. We teach accountants how to do this. It is possible to close a deal in one 45-minute phone call. If you're strangers, you can still do this. So reduce the amount of steps that's necessary to work with you. Make it as easy as possible for someone to do business with you. Very, very important for all businesses. So this is about reducing. So reduce something that's unnecessary. Make it easier. Make your practice more effective and efficient. If you reduce certain functions or procedures that's redundant, you don't need anymore. Then creating something new, a little bit different. So it's not very easy to see what's going to be new in a market. Okay, so if you're thinking very hard, I want to start something new in this, like what's going to happen? And it's very difficult to think outside of the box if you've been in that box for 20 years or 10 years. So what we're thinking about right now is, okay, everybody's offering these 20 services. Some are actually doing some advisory and consulting as well, and that's great. That's the standard. What's not the standard is, let's say, for example, there's a bunch of small businesses struggling with cash flow. And you're thinking, oh man, if I could only help all of these businesses, but I don't have time to physically go and drive to all of these clients of mine and give them trainings on how to do cash flow. Or if they need staff trainings, go to every single premises, teach them in person, show them, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you make your operating procedures a lot more efficient and effective. all of those sort of trainings in person takes a bunch of time, and not a lot of accountants do any sort of trainings. But now you're thinking, what, those cash flow? If I can create an online course or in-learning platform that teaches a small business exactly how to solve their cash flow problems in a week or 2-week trainings, why not? You can sell that to all of your clients, or provide that as a value-added service to all of your clients that you sign up. Because most people or most small businesses have some sort of problem like cash flow. If you have a standardized service or a standardized training that can solve that to them, that's a great value add that you can provide extra, or build an entire business around just that. If you're going to promote cash flow trainings to all of the small businesses everywhere, and it's basically just trainings, your service delivery is so simple. You just give them access to those trainings. And what do? You do marketing and spread the word. As long as those trainings are very effective and give the amount of value that's promised, it's going to be blown up as a business. There's entire companies that's focusing only on learning platforms, only on certain courses. Like, this is something entirely new, but small businesses don't have all of the expertise. A bunch of them didn't even go and study. You, as a qualified accountant, did study. You have so much knowledge to share with your clients, but you don't have the time to spend 3-4 hours a day with every single client and teach them everything that you know. It's not possible. So how about you find a way to create something new in your marketplace that gives a lot of more value and a lot of knowledge without you having to spend so much time. Accountants love to complain about, I'm so overworked, I always need a vacation and everything, just because you're manually doing everything. You need to physically go and see all of your clients. You need to manual capture data and all of those sort of things. There's so many reasons why you're overworked. It's just because you're not thinking strategically. So that was basically the Blue Ocean strategy. I would really encourage you guys to go and read that yourself. They give you step-by-step advice, very, very practical, how to implement all of those. I just basically gave you a bunch of examples that I'm constantly thinking about working with accountants. So that's the Blue Ocean strategy. Go read that book. Very, very powerful book. Then some growth strategies. So what basically is going on with the growth strategies is, recently I actually follow Patrick Bet-David on Valuetainment, and he has a massive, awesome, I can't let's say promote him enough. Very, very influential guy, very nice how he explains everything. Go check out Valuetainment. These are normal growth strategies that he basically just explained in a better way that we can understand that a lot better. So these at the top is exponential growth, and at the bottom it's linear growth. So first of all, I want to touch on exponential growth. See, exponential growth in the accounting industry is extremely difficult to survive, because what happens if you get 50 clients tomorrow? If I give you 50 clients tomorrow, are your business still going to be able to survive? Or am I going to break every single system and create a panic throughout your entire business? Well, the latter is most likely possible, just because it's services. Services is not something that you can really scale up exponentially extremely fast. So we're thinking about marketing innovation or your next innovative campaign. If you're thinking about a very innovative marketing campaign, think about Coke on like Share a Coke, or Coke with the brrr and all of those. Very innovative, very effective with increasing sales by massive amounts, because it just broadened that entire market. So this is all about marketing innovation and really getting your name out there extremely fast, like thousands and thousands of people suddenly interested in your business. But if you cannot handle that amount, this could break your business if you're trying to implement this. So let's say, for example, you tell me, great, I want a viral video. I want a viral video of my company really helping and providing all of this value, and I want thousands of people. Well, you should know, if we make that video go viral, and all of that attention and all of those interested prospects is going to be at your door at the same time. You should have the systems in place to be able to work through all of that, and we're going to touch that on the business pipeline. I'm going to show you what you need to have in place there. Another thing, this is more applicable, is leadership development. Now, leadership development can have an exponential effect Since if you develop a leader to really lead his team and create an entire new division in your practice, targeting a specific market on his own, and he can grow that on his own or with that team, that's going to create exponential growth, because you don't need to spend the time. You don't need to spend the time to do that. Then you can, if you have 5 different leaders that you're developing, all going and creating their own divisions, and suddenly you have so many people running strategies, and they're not really dependent on you to make all of those decisions, everything suddenly starts to grow extremely fast. Well, leadership development is not something we're seeing in the accounting industry at the moment. Very, very few people that we talk to really mentions about, I can take a week off. I can take 2 weeks off. Now, what I'm thinking about here is, if you are the main person in your business, you are the practice owner, and you cannot go away on vacation for a week and expect your business to still be standing when you're coming back, it means that you don't have anybody there to replace you. You don't have leaders to take lead and lead the other people, lead the teams forward and keep that business running. You need to constantly give more responsibility for other people, that you can grow that leadership skills. Give them teams to manage. Tell them how everything works. Because if you're going to, let's say, play everything so close to the chest that you need to make every single decision and you always need to be there, the problem is then you always need to be there. You will never be able to grow and just go away on vacation or anything along those lines, because you are the key person. So you can even take out some key man insurance, just because if you die, the business dies with you. Everybody's just going to go and search for a new job, because that practice don't have a leader anymore and there's nothing to follow. The entire practice is just going to fall apart. So leadership development, extremely important if you want any sort of extra time, or let's say natural organic growth by people implementing strategies on their own that you don't need to flagship. Then linear growth. This is also something that we really have a massive passion about with helping our clients, is operating systems. This ties in with the business pipeline. I'm going to explain to that now. And business development. Business development is always stuff like network marketing and everything like along those lines. So this is a very old-fashioned way of doing business, and it's very important that you go out, meet new people, because every single connection that you have or get is going to be an opportunity to work together, maybe start some partnerships, some strategic partnerships here. And there's so many opportunities out there that you should be constantly networking, not religiously going out for this, but it's very important to have a natural growth instead of just relying on, let's say, advertising to grow. This is very important, just because you cannot beat this party, and there's a big franchisor there with, like, let's say 100 franchisees under him, and you just want to network with this person. And you go, yeah, okay, start off talking to each other, and great, this is a new connection. So what happens if that person's interested in your accounting practice? Let's say, for example, you point out certain things in his business that he can improve, that you can do for him. So big franchise, great, but they don't have a system in place to monitor every single franchisee's performance on a dashboard. So let's say, for example, 100 franchisees, all the financials come in separately. They don't really know which ones are performing better than the other ones, because every single time they're asking that question, they need to do and dig through all of the data, and they don't have everything readily available. So let's say, for example, you create a dashboard for that franchise, and you say, this is everything that you need to know about all your franchisees. It's live data. Everybody is connected to the system. All of their financials are tracked to this dashboard, and you can immediately see which franchisees are doing better, which franchisees are needing of help. Maybe this one's going through a crisis. Suddenly that's live data that they can make decisions on. Great! If they can make decisions on that, okay, this one needs a little bit of help. We're going to have a visit there. This one's really outperforming all the others. Find out what strategies they are implementing that we can teach that to the other ones as well. Suddenly there's so much data and so much information that they can make live decisions and very strategic decisions, really increasing the value of the business just by giving them that one specific dashboard or one specific system. So one connection could possibly mean millions of business. Very important to do business development through networking. And then operating systems. Now, operating systems ties in with our business pipeline. Now, if you've seen some of my videos, you really know I love this, and I love to see all businesses in this way, because doesn't matter which strategy you implement or what sort of thing that you want to do in your business, everything that you do is going to be divided into 3 different sections. So imagine this as a pipeline, meaning there's going to be water flowing through here, and at the end of the day, you're measuring everything that comes through this with throughput. So the 3 sections is client acquisition. Now this is basically your marketing. This is making people interested in your business, meaning interested prospects. Next, client conversion, turning those interested prospects into paying clients, basically converting prospects into clients. This is sales. Then service delivery, very self-explanatory. This is where you give the value that you basically promise them in the sales call. Now this is a very, very simple way of thinking about it, because every single business can be divided into these 3 sections. Now the question is, why do we do this? Why do we divide it into 3 sections? Great, now we know, but what's going to happen? Well, there's always a bottleneck. Because it's a pipeline, there's always going to be a bottleneck of the section that's underperforming and reducing your amount of throughput right at the end. So if you have 10,000 interested prospects, but you can only sign up 1 client a week, what does that 1,000 interested prospects mean? So let's say, for example, this is the pipeline, but now suddenly you don't know how to do sales. There you go. That's your bottleneck right there. Because if you don't have a sales team in place for 1,000 new interested prospects, and you only have one person taking the calls, and you can only sign up 1 person per day or per week, there's your bottleneck. This is why we analyze every single business in this way, that we can identify where is the main problem, where is the main bottleneck in your systems, that we know how to increase your throughput at the end of the day. Now, if you don't have any interested prospects, but you have a sales team of 10 people, well, that's also redundant. So it means your bottleneck is at the beginning here at client acquisition. It means you need to do some more marketing. You need more innovative campaigns to give you interested prospects. Or you need to be running some sort of ads that people are getting interested in your business. Then finally, if you're constantly signing up everybody, and all of your time suddenly goes away, because all your time goes to service delivery. If 90 to 95% of your time goes to service delivery, dealing with clients, implementing systems for them, doing absolutely everything for them, and you only have, let's say, 5 or 10% of time for sales and client acquisition, well, you might be making a lot of money, or you might just have a very big bottleneck in service delivery. Because if you have a bottleneck at service delivery, it means all of your time, all of your staff members, everything is going towards that. And if you have redundant systems like manual data capturing and all of those sort of things, which is wasting so much more of your time, you need to be thinking, well, this is my bottleneck, I need to improve this. So that's the first thing. Analyze where your time is going to identify the bottleneck. Then improve that specific section. If you don't have interested prospects, get yourself a marketing company that can run some ads and get you interested prospects, or show you how to do some story marketing or some organic marketing, anything along those lines, if that's your bottleneck. If you don't know how to do sales, either get yourself a sales expert or upskill yourself on some sales training that you can improve this at this entire section. Doesn't take 2, 3, 4 weeks per client that you're signing up. You cannot be dealing with that sort of sales bottleneck. Then if all of your time is going to service delivery, you have 20 different staff members making 300,000-400,000 rand a month, but you're not making any sort of profit. It means all of the time that you're spending is not profitable. So either you need to go and invest a little bit more in some software, some automation software and all of that you can better automate, let's say, 80% of your business, 80% of your service delivery, and the 20% you're truly spending with the client is advisory and consulting, giving that the real valuable real valuable value, you know, it sounds a little bit funny, but giving the real value, well, then it's going to start looking a lot more profitable. But if you have 20 staff members and 5 of them are doing data capture and clerks here, and you need to do all of these all of those manual functions, suddenly you're thinking about, okay, well, more clients is not my problem, because if I get any more clients, I'm going to burst. I don't have capacity to deal with more clients. If you don't have capacity to deal with more clients and you're not running at the 50% profit margin, your service delivery is not up to scratch. You need to improve that. Either upskill your staff members that they can be more efficient and effective. Give them specialized training in the softwares that you can automate most of them. Or at the end of the day, if you're thinking, oh, but these softwares are so bad and they're making so many mistakes and they're misallocating so many things and everybody still needs to check everything that the software is doing, I understand you. I know there's a lot of problems with the softwares, but at the end of the day, if you're not climbing on the cloud accounting software train at this moment, they are going to improve. Those systems are constantly improving. So in 5 to 10 years time, when those systems are really not making any more mistakes or very, very minimal mistakes, you're going to get left behind. You're going to be irrelevant. So you need to make those investments right now that you start getting more profit in, and maybe spending that profit on something else, spending that profit on more marketing, spending that profit on more upskilling your staff members, and they even get more skilled. You know, at the end of the day, it's so simple to analyze any sort of business according to these 3, because if this is not in place and optimized, your operating systems, every single one of these are very, very important, since you only measure what comes through at the end of the day, your throughput. So every single strategy that you implement needs to be optimized according to this. If I said create a new training, great. Let's say you run Facebook ads, automated system that ties in with your CRM system, your conversions, they can either buy online or you have one 45-minute sales call to tell them about the trainings that you're going to do for cash flow. Then service delivery, well, it's online trainings, you're selling basically passwords and logins. All that, simple, new strategy, everything is optimized, constantly delivering more interested prospects. Very, very narrow or small sales that you need to be doing, either online automated or one 45-minute sales call. Service delivery is just giving them access to the platform. So simple. That system with just e-learning can mean millions per month, because you don't have a cap. You don't have a platform that you're going to hit when doing service delivery. It's very, very easy. So this is what I want to be getting at. Doesn't really matter what you do, but you need to start somewhere. You need to start and analyze your market, analyze your competitors. See, is it necessary to get out of the red ocean to create yourself a blue ocean? Then if you create yourself a blue ocean, decide which growth strategies are you implementing for that new strategy that you decided you're going to do. And then finally, once you decided, you need to optimize this business pipeline. Extremely important to follow those steps. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in for my strategy session, or basically my strategy video. We don't do a lot of these long form videos, so please give us some love. Tell us if you like this or not. Tell us in the comments below what we could have done better, or what your thoughts are on our vision of strategy. Other than that, thank you everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week.